Hi loves, welcome back to the channel. On this video we'll be drafting this short. It's a short with elastic band round the waist and side pockets. So on this video we'll be drafting, cutting and sewing this short with hidden side pockets with elastic round the waist. So if there's something you're interested in, keep watching. If you're also interested in the cutting and drafting of the top of this two-piece, let me know in the comment section. The fabric of choice for this two-piece is crepe fabric. It's a designed crepe fabric.
I used about 2 yards of fabric for both the top and the shorts.
That being said, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and let's get right into the video.
For this tutorial, we'll be needing our chalk, our 2-inch elastic. Our elastic band is about 2 inches wide, so you have to bear that in mind because it will be coming up when we are drafting. We have our pocketing and we also have our main fabric. Okay, this main fabric is what we'll be using to draft our patterns. So I folded the main fabric into two. I'll be drafting on the right side of this fabric because the back is somehow. So if I'm marking the chalk at the back, it will not really be showing. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be marking the chalk at the right side of this fabric. So I went ahead to draw a line that will serve as my starting line. When I placed my tape, I noticed that the pattern on the fabric will not be showing. So I went ahead to ignore that first line. So we'll be using this second line, and this second line will be serving as our full length of the shorts. Now the full length I'm working with is 14 inches, but I'll be placing my tape at 16 inches. That 2 inches is going to be serving as the hemming allowance. So the full length is 14. I marked at 14. Now I'll be going up to mark my waistline, and on my waistline I'll be marking my waistline at 2 inches. I'm not marking it at the beginning of the tape because we'll still add 2 inches band. That's for the elastic. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark my hip point at 8 and my clutch point at 10. So you can go ahead and just measure your clutch point and place it, then come up 2 inches before your clutch, and that is going to be your hip line. Now after doing that, I'll be placing my hip round divided by 4
plus 1 inch
on that waistline. I did not place my waist round though. I placed my hip round divided by 4
plus 1 inch
on the waistline and on the hip line. And I'll be extending it to that clutch line. After extending it on that clutch line, that's that second line, I'll be coming out by 2.5 inches, and I'll be making a curve into the hip like so. Okay, into the hip line like so, and this is what I have. Now I'll be extending that line on the clutch to the full length, and that's all. So I'm going to be cutting this out. After cutting it out, I'll be cutting open that fold that we have at the beginning, so that we have 2 pieces for our front pieces. And now I'm going to go ahead and draft for our back pieces. And for that my back piece, I will still fold my fabric into 2. Now after folding my fabric into 2, I'll place that thing that will cut out for the front piece. This one now, I'll place it on top of it. So you see that the edge of this one is on the same line with the fold. Now on the waist, I'll come out by 2 inches. On the clutch, I'll come out by 2 inches. On the hip, I'll come out by 2 inches. On the full length as well, I'll come out by 2 inches. So after coming out by 2 inches, I'm going to join those points like this. Now the next adjustment will be on the waist. On that waist point now, I'll be coming up by 1 inch. I'm coming up by 1 inch because I don't have bump. So depending on how curvy the person is, you can go up by 2 inches, you can go up by 2.5, you can go up by 1 inch, you can go up by 1.5, depending on how curvy. So this is where your creativity comes in. Bear that at the back of your mind when you're cutting your own. I went ahead to draw a slant line to connect from that 1 inch point that I went up by to the waist of the front pieces. So the back pieces is a little bit longer and wider than the front pieces. Okay. Now that I'm done cutting out my back piece, I'm also going to open up that fold. That place that we folded when we started cutting. I'm going to cut it open so that I have 2 pieces for the back, 2 pieces for the front. I'm going to be cutting out the pockets that I'll be using for this knicker, because our knicker is going to have pockets. I just brought my pocketing. This pocketing, that's what we call it. You can even use the main fabric to cut this thing, but I'm using pocketing. So I used my pocketing and I folded it into four. Now I'm going to place the knicker on top of it, and I will measure where my pocketing will stop. So my pocketing is going to stop just a little bit after the clutch line. So I'm just going to measure that out and cut it out. And after cutting it out, this is what I have for my pocket, right? I'm going to cut out the rough edges. Now this is what I have for my pocket. I have a wider something, so I'm going to cut open the side that has one fold, one opening. So after cutting open that side, I have two pocketing, two front pieces and two back pieces, and I'll be placing my pocketing like this. Now let's start this sewing. We'll be starting the sewing with the pocketing and my front pieces. And before I start sewing for the pocketing, I went to go and attach the main fabric to the pocketing so that it's not showing. The white something is not showing when I'm done stitching, okay? So that it will appear very neat. Now I'm going to place my pocketing on my neck, front side facing each other like I see. And I will go to my machine and I will stitch from the hip to the waist like this with about half an inch. I will flip it over and top stitch on that pocket side. So when I'm done, this is what I have. I don't know if you can see the top stitch, but after doing that, I will just fold my pocket like this. I just folded it over the knicker like this. We are finished fitting our pocket like this now. The next thing we'll do is to stitch on the waist to hold the pocket, and then we'll stitch close this opening that we'll have in the pocket here. I did it for the second side of the front pieces. Now I'm going to do my back pieces, and I'm going to place it on the front pieces, front side facing each other. So the right side of the back will be facing the right side of the fabric of the front. Now after placing it, this is what I have. I'm going to take one side of the knicker. I'll be shaping the sides, and I'll be doing that for the two sides of the knicker. And I have two sides. I will place it together like this, front sides facing each other. You can see that the front side is facing the front side and the back side is facing the back side like this. Then I'm going to go and stitch along that clutch area with about half an inch, just half an inch on. And after stitching along that clutch area, this is what I have. I'm going to measure for my band. To fix my band, I just measured the waist of my knicker. I have about 21 inches, which is way bigger than my waist. So I'm going to cut a fabric that is at least 5 inches wide. So this is my fabric like this, 5 inches wide. I'm going to fold it into two and place it on that waist just to trace out my waist and cut out the excesses. Okay, I'm going to open up my knicker and I will be placing that band, that 5 inches band, right? I'll be placing it right side facing the right side of my knicker, and I will sew about half an inch cross like so. Okay, I'll sew about half an inch on the waist to the other end. And after doing that, this is what I have. This one I'm doing now is very important, so listen carefully. I'm going to fold over. Remember that we are working with 2 inches band, but we'll cut out 5. So we have used half inch to attach to the front. Now we're going to fold in half inch to attach to the back. Okay, now I'm going to pin that down. I'm going to fold in the half inch and pin it down, and the rough edges of this waist is going to be inside the band like this. So just watch what I'm doing. Now that I'm done pinning it, I'll flip it to the right side. So I'm going to zoom in for better effect. See where I will be stitching. I'll be stitching right on top of that other stitching that I used to join the front one. That place that my hand is touching, I'll be stitching very close to that point, and see when you turn it to the back, this is what I have. And when you turn it to the front, this is what it will be looking like. Are you seeing that you're not seeing any thread there? That's how it's supposed to be, so it will be very neat. The next thing we'll be doing is to cut out the elastic. My waist round normally is 27, but I went to cut elastic that is 24 inches long. So I removed about 3 inches from the actual measurement. If you draw the elastic, you can cut even 5 inches shorter or even 7 inches shorter. I'm going to use my safety pin to pick one side of the elastic, and I'm going to start placing it inside the channel. Now as I'm placing it inside the channel, when one end has finished entering like this, I'm going to pause and use my pin to secure that end. I see, so that it will not enter inside. Then I'm going to continue putting the elastic till it comes out from the other end, and then I'll secure it with a pin. Now when you drag it, you see how my waist is coming together. Now I'm going to go to my machine and secure the ends of that elastic, and I'll be placing the two ends of that long piece together like so. And I'll go to my machine and use half inch to join that clutch area like so. And when I was done, this is what I have. You see how this back and you see how my waist is, everything is coming together. Now this leg part, this is the clutch area. I'll be making sure that the front clutch and the clutch of the back like this is merging together. I'm going to place it together so that those two lines, both the one for the front and the one for the back, are together. Now pin it down. Now after pinning it down, you see that the legs to this side and the legs to the other side, they match up very well. And I'm going to go and stitch about 1/2 inch across that place like this. Now after stitching it, this is what I have. I think that we are done sewing our knicker. So this is what our knicker looks like. Okay, see that place is neat and the clutch point is together. I'm going to interlock all the ends of the fabric, and when I'm done, remember that 2 inches we added when we were exactly, fold it in and hem my knicker, and that is all. This is the finished look. You can see the fitting, you can see the elastic, everything is looking well put together. Hope this tutorial was helpful. Hope it was detailed enough. Hope you were able to understand it. If you did, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.